The room was bathed in soft, dim light, and she sat quietly at the edge of the bed, her mehndi-adorned hands resting on her lap. Her heart pounded, as if it might burst from her chest. Suddenly, a faint knock at the door broke the silence, and her breath hitched. "Assalamu alaikum," he said softly, his voice carrying a certain charm. She lowered her gaze, her voice trembling slightly as she replied, "Walaikum assalam." He walked toward her slowly, each step making her heartbeat race faster. Gently, he lifted her veil. Her face, a blend of shyness and nervousness, glowed under the soft light, making her beauty all the more enchanting. "You are breathtakingly beautiful," he whispered, his words filled with warmth and affection. Her lips curved into a faint smile as she kept her gaze lowered, her cheeks flushed with redness. He sat beside her, close enough for her to feel his presence. "It's been a long day. You must be tired," he said gently. Then, as if remembering something, he stood and added, "Wait, I'll bring you some water." When he returned, he offered her the glass and said, "Drink this. You'll feel better." She hesitated, but as she drank, he watched her intently, as though trying to capture every second of the moment in his heart. Later, as she began to remove her jewelry, her hands faltered while undoing her heavy earrings. He immediately stepped closer and said softly, "Let me." Gently, he removed the earrings, his touch lingering on her hands as he whispered, "These hands, this face, they are my treasures." When she returned in a simpler outfit, he smiled and said, "Now, you look like your true self, natural and stunning." He sat on the bed and extended his hand toward her. She hesitated but then walked toward him. Taking her hand in his, he whispered, "This night marks the beginning of our lives together, and I want it to be unforgettable." He leaned back slightly, resting against the headboard, and gently guided her closer. His breath was warm against her skin, sending shivers down her spine. "May I say something?" he asked softly. "Yes," she replied, barely audible. "Every move you make, every little gesture, draws me closer to you," he said, his voice deep with emotion. Cradling her face in his hands, he added, "I promise I will never let anything hurt you." Slowly, he leaned in and pressed his lips against hers. The kiss was gentle, tender, and filled with unspoken promises. She froze for a moment, but then she leaned closer, letting the warmth of the moment envelop her. His fingers gently brushed through her hair, and in a whisper he said, "This is just the beginning of our love story, and I want every moment to be as magical as this." They stayed close, lost in each other, the world around them fading into the background. The night grew deeper, and their hearts beat in unison, bound by the love that would define their lives forever.